Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Mitch's Mi친영어코칭. I'm here to help you speak English more professionally, more comfortably, more confidently. That's what I'm doing in these videos. Like this video and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already so you can get my videos every week as I update them. And you can learn more and more useful phrases, more useful business, situational English, as well as social situational English for building business relationships and other relationships with native English speakers. Okay, that's what we do in these videos. It's a chance for you to improve in those areas. Okay, so today we're going to talk about meetings because we often talk about meetings in these videos. When you have a global meeting, let's say you're in a global meeting and someone is speaking too fast. Happens all the time, right? You know, you say, "Oh, pardon? What? I'm sorry, what? Pardon?" 5 times, 6 times, 7 times. Very awkward, right? The situation, you don't want to have to keep saying, "What? I'm sorry, what? Because then it makes you look like you can't understand. And, sometimes native English speakers, especially if they're not used to speaking with Korean people or other nationality people, they tend to just speak very quickly. And they don't realize that they need to slow down, they need to enunciate, articulate pronunciation, and they don't often know how to rephrase things in an easier way, So they just speak like they would speak to a normal, native English speaker, like an American. They speak like they're talking to an American. Someone from England, a lot of times they'll speak like they're talking to someone from England. Okay, that's very difficult if English is not your native language, even if you're a very advanced speaker. Okay, so what do we do? What do we do in this situation? Well, I'm going to teach you in this video some strategies and some phrases you can use to fix that situation, to help without having to say, "I'm sorry, what, repeat that please." There's some other phrases that would make it sound more professional for you, okay, instead of just saying "what" all the time. So let's try. I'm going to teach you some of these phrases for today, and they're going to help you in the next meeting you have. When you have a meeting, you're going to be able to use these, and without sounding like your English is not good and you're not good at listening and understanding English, it's going to make you sound like you're a good English speaker with a very professional kind of vocabulary and structure that you can use. So the first one, we're going to call it the elaborate move. Elaborate. Do you know what elaborate means? Elaborate just means explain. Explain more. It's a big word, professional word that just means explain. So instead of saying, I know a lot of students, they say like, "Explain more, please." Okay. Instead of saying that, this is the way you're going to say it. "Could you elaborate on that point?" Could you elaborate on that point? That's kind of what that means, right? Could you elaborate on that point? Tell me more about that point. You could say that too. Could you tell me more about that point? Yeah. Could you tell me more about that information? Okay, so elaborate, tell me more, either of those. Explain is okay too, but the sentence structure is important. Could you explain more about that, please? So could you is very professional, kind of business English. Anytime you're asking for someone to do something in a nice way, we say, "Could you please," like that. So could you please elaborate on that point a little more? And then they're going to repeat it, and generally they're going to give you more information, and they're going to also hopefully kind of slow it down and use different vocabulary because you ask them to elaborate. You're not asking them to repeat. This is the big point here. If you say, "Could you repeat that please? Could you repeat that please?" You're just going to get the same sentences. They're going to say the same vocabulary back to you. But if you're having a hard time understanding the vocabulary, a better way to say, instead of repeat, would be elaborate. Yeah, because elaborate means, try to say it in a different way. And so the speaker, they're going to say, "Oh, okay, let me think about how to explain this in a different way." And so now you're going to get 2 explanations instead of 1 explanation repeated back to you. Okay, so that will help you to understand better and put the pieces together of the puzzle of what they're trying to say, okay, and what you're trying to understand. It's a very good, useful phrase for you, okay? The second strategy here we're going to learn is the walkthrough move. Walkthrough. Walk me through it. Okay, that means, show me. Okay, instead of saying, show me again, tell me again, show me one more time. Say like this. Could you walk me through the logic one more time? Could you walk me through the logic one more time? Yeah, one more time means, just again, repeat again. But walk me through the logic means I don't quite understand where you're coming from. I don't quite understand what you're thinking, your logic behind this point. So walk me through it. It's a very friendly way to say, because when you walk with someone somewhere, you're on a journey together. You're walking together, you're talking, experiencing things together. So it's a very friendly way to say, I don't get it. Tell me, what are you thinking? Because if you say it like that, what are you even thinking? They're going to get angry, perhaps. They might think, that's too strong, right? So when you say it like this, it's a very friendly way to say, could you walk me through the logic of that one more time? Or anything. It doesn't have to be the logic. It could be anything. Could you walk me through those points one more time? Could you walk me through the information one more time? Okay. But anytime you want more explanation, that's a good phrase to use. Could you walk me through it one more time? Please. Always good to say please. Okay. And then number 3, the check move. Okay. Check. In other words, you're trying to check if you got it. Okay. Because let's say you heard the information, you understand it, but you just want to clarify. You're not exactly sure because you're not a native English speaker. And so you always have that fear, right? There's always a fear of like, maybe I didn't understand. I think I understood it, but maybe not. And especially if you're in business, you're talking about something important, you don't want to make a mistake, right? You want to make sure you have it right. So just clarify. Don't be afraid to just say it like this. Say, okay, just to clarify, are you saying that? And then, repeat what you think they're saying, okay? This is not just for second language speakers. Native English speakers also should do this, okay? All of these things are good for native English speakers, okay? We don't want to just assume that I understand. I want to clarify. I want to make sure, okay? So this is the phrase. Just to clarify, are you saying that we should do this? Or are you suggesting this, okay? And then they're gonna, again, repeat it and hopefully clarify in a different way. They'll either say, yeah, you're right, that's what I'm saying. Or they say, oh, not exactly, I'm thinking more like this, okay? And then now you can, clarify some more. Say, okay, so I think I got it. Just to clarify one more time, you're saying this, right? And then, the more specific you can get with the details, the better you're gonna be able to handle whatever it is you're working on in the project. Okay, so let's say in a real life scenario, a client is explaining to you a very complex budget, very difficult budget, complex words, vocabulary. Instead of saying like, before, pardon, one more time, like that, try like this. Could you elaborate on the budget allocation for Q3? Or could you walk me through that budget analysis one more time? Could you clarify what you're saying about that? Okay, so specific questions will make you look like a partner, not a student, okay? Instead of looking like you're a student, like you're lower level than them, you're at the same level. You're working together. So these phrases will help you to be able to understand clearly what they're saying, to clarify and make sure you know what you're saying before the meeting is finished. So you don't have to come back in an email and say, oh, could you please explain that one more time? You don't have to go back and keep asking. You got it in the meeting in a professional way. All right, everybody. So try those out at your next meeting. I hope it goes well. Check out my website at mitchinenglishcoach.com. You can sign up for some one-on-one classes with me and coaching sessions, and I'll help you. Or you can sign up and subscribe to my online video series lesson as well. So check all that out at my website, and I'll see you in the next video.